What is going on, Lakers fam? This is your boy Jay Lake, bringing you Lakers all day, all the time. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down under, and any comments is much appreciated. Thank you, Big Al, for coming on again today.
Thank you, Jay Lake.
Appreciate it. And Mario, pleasure to have you as always.
Thanks, Jay Lake.
So, what a crazy game, right? It was a game of runs, dozens of lead changes throughout the game. First quarter, we're up by one. Second, we're down by three. Golden State went on that big run, and the third, several times throughout the game, I was thinking to myself, it's not looking too good for our Lakers this game. But thank goodness for Lonnie, Rise of Skywalker, big fourth game. 14 clutch points in the fourth that sealed the deal.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be. He's Lonnie Walker the fourth. He showed up in game four, and in the fourth quarter, it was the game of four for today.
Yeah, it really was, Big Al. I mean, talk about, being ready when your name is called, especially in a big moment like this in the postseason, game four, where you want to win both games at home. He stepped up, especially in the fourth quarter. You know, really excited for him and, all the hard work he's done throughout the season. Remember, he started in the beginning of the season. Then I think he got hurt. Then he was on the bench. Like he went through a roller coaster himself as a player this season. But it really shows the testament of his hard work and not giving up and believing in himself. So when his name is called, which he had a feeling it was going to be soon, he was ready for the big moments and he showed up. And we're talking about Lakers having a 3-1 lead now. So awesome job to Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, definitely. Lonnie Walker, he's a testament to all kind of bench players because after the game, they asked him, so what got you going? He's like, it's really about just having my candle lit at all the time, right? So he's had some previous issues with like Pop, personality issues. Usually, everybody, worships Pop and get along with Pop, but some personality issues. He had some defense issues because he didn't want to play defense. But I feel like all that time on the bench, sitting this year, kind of made him refocus himself and having LBJ, AD, your veterans in the locker room. That's going to help him a lot too. It's like whenever your number's called, just be ready. And when his number called, he showed up, showed out too.
Yeah, Lonnie, he's a consummate professional. He stayed professional, didn't pout or anything like that. Just stayed ready, and LeBron told him to be ready, and he showed up. Thank God, Darvin Ham played him at the end of the game two, and he showed out. He was ready to go. Got minutes in game three, and then game four. It all the benefits for us.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more Lonnie Walker the rest of this the series and next round.
I mean, did you guys see his stroke, his shooting stroke? It's pretty sweet. I feel like he's one of the most pure kind of like release with the Lakers, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's a natural scorer for sure.
80. This game I was really worried in the first half, especially that like last game he would be pulled away from that paint to kind of guard the pick and roll for Steph whenever he's out on the 3-point line. But he actually did pretty well whenever he did get pulled out to the 3-point line to guard Steph, and they shut Steph down during that second half. So AD ended up with 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 assists. So he's had a solid game, even though this was supposed to be his off game.
Yeah, I mean, we were joking about it, and before the game, it was like, what AD were we going to get? Hopefully, he was going to come out looking to score, and that's what he did from the first quarter. I think he had made the first two shots, or the first shot, and then the free throws after that. But you could see from the beginning of the night he was not going to be it was not going to be an off game for him. Unfortunately, in the second half, they kind of shut him out a little bit, or he didn't really demand the ball. He didn't get the ball as much. But yeah, again, Lonnie came in to carry the scoring, and Reeves as well.
Yeah, I mean Reeves and Lonnie saved the day, and AD, the first half he was ready to play, and so we're having a lot of hope. Like, okay, AD's here to play, gonna have a big night. So he did really well. And he's always there defensively, right? He's AD is always. I don't think defensively he's ever been questioned about his effort and if he's going to show up or not. It's more the offense. So AD in the second half, the scoring kind of stopped. The defense was still there, but luckily, Lonnie and Reeves, kind of took over the points, to help AD and LeBron out. So that was really nice.
Yeah, and shout out to um, Dennis Schroeder as well. I think he came in, gave him great minutes. He got a big steal at the end of or in the beginning of the fourth quarter on Steph. It led to some points, and he was really solid for them as well.
He played like 34 minutes, 35, 34-50. That's what
I
Dennis
mean, so
Schroeder played.
yes, somebody had to take up for those bad minutes from D'Lo because D'Lo was not very good in this game.
D'Lo played
But
31 minutes, 4 points. I mean, again, we see this happening with D'Lo as well, right? Just up again, down again. Which one are we gonna get? He just didn't have it this game at all. Like he just wasn't there for him. So luckily everyone else stepped up, and especially Lonnie Walker, right? And Reeves. Like I said, they carried the load here.
Yeah, Vegas had a D'Lo over under at 16.5 points too. But I mean, based on that last game, credit goes to Kerr for making the adjustments, and they're able to stop D'Lo this game. But if it wasn't for Lonnie, then this game might have ended very differently.
yeah, for sure. I mean, Lonnie definitely came in, produced, and then Reeves as well. Like I was saying, this was the first game that he went over 20 points in the series. I thought it was his best game of the series. He looked more comfortable, looked more like himself. He got to the rim, got to the free throw line. That's something that we hadn't seen from him in a while, getting to the free throw line and being effective there. So Reeves definitely was showing out a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, I agree with you. Reeves really felt like this game for him came to him easily. He is attacking the rim like he always does. He does a little shake, a little handles. He drives the rim, draws the foul, and he has some good threes actually. Some big threes in the game as well.
Yeah,
So really good for Reeves.
I'm definitely glad Reeves kind of made a comeback because a lot of times players, especially during the playoffs during the first half, they don't make a couple shots, then their faith kind of gets shaken. They lose, then every future shot gets altered and they don't do well. They just kind of disappear and drop off the rest of the game. But like your all stars, LBJ and AD, it's like when your shot isn't going in, then that's when you do the other things that matter. You do the rebounds, you do the assists, you do all the other things, and then slowly your game will come to you. So I'm glad that Austin kind of rebounded that second half. On the flip side, I feel like Klay Thompson, he had a huge game last game, scorched us with 33 points, 7 rebounds. This game, he only had 9 points and 5 rebounds. And I saw an article about Drew Anthrop, right? Our assistant coach. He wore a Klay Warriors jersey in practice just so that, our players could get used to kind of, oh, these are the spots Klay likes to go to. He dribbles to the left or, he shoots this way and these are the spots. And so I'm glad we made a good adjustment on Clay.
Yeah, I mean the Lakers scouted pretty well, blew up a couple plays. They were getting burned by the high pick and roll though, but that was an adjustment that Steve Kerr made. Throwing in uh, Gary
Gary
Payton
Payne
the
Jr.
second. Yeah,
for the second.
yeah. But yeah, he threw him in there, gave him more speed. So they struggled with that, but at least they were able to contain Clay a little bit. And it's the same thing with Steph. Steph, even though he had a triple double, he wasn't as effective from 3-point range. He shot 3 for 14. I think that had to do with the Lakers attacking him at every opportunity on the defensive end. They were trying to pick on him for sure defensively. That's what I noticed from Austin Reeves. He was attacking him, LeBron attacking him. Everybody was trying to get at Steph. So maybe that had to do with Steph's poor shooting performance.
Probably. I mean, he's not that big. He runs
Yeah.
around a lot. So if
Hmm.
you get on the shoulder, you bump him some more, you attack him, he's gonna get tired, right? And believe it or not, it's gonna affect the shooting. And so, I mean, to go back to Clay real fast. I don't expect Clay to have an off night again, especially in that next game. I mean, just because what we've seen in the past, that he could light up a game. Game six Clay, is the reason why we call him that. I know his game five is next, but I don't expect him to have an off night like that again. I expect him to hit his shots, and it's going to be up to the Lakers to make the adjustments and slow the game down in a way where they attack the rim, draw the foul, right, and don't try to shoot with the Warriors. I think when the Warriors get on these runs, right, these 10-0 runs or 9-0 runs, is when the Lakers try to shoot with the Warriors and they get lazy and they just start shooting jump shots, and obviously they're gonna miss them because they're not good shooters like the Warriors are. So anytime they try to do that, they go on these runs, they let the Warriors get a big lead, and you're like, oh, here we go again. Like, how are we going to come back from this run? But luckily, the Lakers, fixed it. They locked it down. They made Clay miss. They made Steph miss some big threes too, and they crawled back and they took the lead. And Lonnie took over at the end, so that was good. But hey, you also mentioned Kerr with the adjustments. Watching that game. Um, Kerr's really good, right? So we were seeing a hole in the defense, and Kerr was exploiting it with Gary Payne the second, and these smaller guards running around the baseline to these open spots, almost like a zone read, huh? They would just run through back and forth and just see where I'm open and pass it right there for the easy two. I wasn't sure when Ham was going to make the adjustment back, but luckily we did.
Yeah, so I think so for the previous game, you know how like LBJ he didn't score in that first half. Steph and Dre were very confused. It's like what's going on with LBJ, and they're talking about that. So I feel like Steph kind of wanted to imitate that. So this game, he went off. He tried to do more than what he's able to. He did average. He did get a triple double. So, but I felt like he was pretty winded in that second half, especially during that last play, where he grabbed the tip from AD. They got him. LBJ kind of hit the ball and he went to the floor and he just kind of let it go out of bounds. So I feel like it's like he did pretty well on handling Steph, even though he had a triple double.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think them like just attacking him. It's probably the formula. He's their best shooter. He's their best player. If he has to be if his usage rate is so high on defense and offense, I mean, that's a good sign for us.
Yeah, I agree. Need to keep him working on both ends.
So, what do you think is going wrong for the Warriors? They're the defending champs. They should at least tie up our series or give us a challenge. But it seems like whatever Kerr's doing is not enough, or he's not doing enough adjustments. But from the first game, he played their center. Second game,
Looney.
yeah, Looney. First
Looney and
game
then
Looney. Second
Michael
game,
Green.
then he had Green out there, Jermichael Green, and then third game he started GP. So what's going wrong for the Warriors, or is it just Lakers dominance?
I think it's a matchup. One of them is Draymond's a little bit older now. He can't really guard AD. I mean, people used to talk about Draymond being like one of the best defensive players in the league, and he was at some point, but I think now he just can't guard AD, and they don't have size to guard him. Um, that is the biggest difference. They just don't have any size. The other part is their role players are not playing well. Um, Jordan Poole
Cool.
disappeared. Yeah, he's disappeared. He's more of a help for us when he's on the court than he is for them. And yeah, they just don't have it. Clay is not the same player he was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He still can light it up, but he's definitely not as efficient as a 3-point shooter as he
Defensively, I mean,
once.
his knees were torn. Oh, yeah, did he hurt his
I
Achilles? I'm
think.
trying to remember. There were some
I,
injuries where I told you were like he's not won't be effective defensively anymore, right? I
I
mean,
think he's okay defensively. I think it's mostly on offense that you see it. Like his 3-point percentage is dipped quite a bit, but it's just they're not the same. I mean, Steph is still great. Draymond can be effective at times, but he's just not tall enough, and he's older now, and it's just they're
well, I
just
mean,
past their
first of all,
prime. I
no
think.
one should be able to defend AD. To be honest, the only people who should be able to defend him is like Joel Embiid, maybe Giannis, right? I mean, I know he struggles with DeAndre Ayton too, but there's no one on that team, honestly, or I think in the West that could take on AD. Um, I just think it's the role players that they're not helping the Warriors right now. The load is a lot on staff. Clay is not as consistent as it was previously. Could be a slump. Every player goes through it. It happens. But I don't expect that to keep going. Yeah, I don't expect this series a walk in the park anymore. I know it's 3-1, but I'm not saying, oh, we got this, it's over. The Warriors are gonna come out game five firing. They're gonna come out home. They're gonna make a big run. It's up to the Lakers to make those adjustments and come back. Um, I can see Warriors winning game five and then we have to come back home in game six to finish them off. But it's not gonna be easy. This is far from over, I think.
Yeah, it's not over till those. It says 4-1 lead on the
There you go.
Lakers.
Why are you smiling, right? Nothing to smile about.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult fight in the Chase Center. I mean, they're going down like Mario said, 3-1. They're not going to lay down for us. They're going to go out swinging, right? This is their legacy on the line. I mean, they don't want their season to end, so that's going to be rough. What do you guys think about GP starting? Do you think Kerr does that next game as well? Because there's that one play that Draymond Green tried to throw it to Gary Payton in the corner and ended up throwing it to our bench. He just kind of disappeared and ran off. I don't know what that's about, because usually I think if a player disappears, isn't that like a tech or something?
Mm,
Right?
No,
I don't
I
know.
don't
I don't
think
think
so,
so.
but
Because
it
if you
was
have an extra
weird.
player on the court, then that's
Yeah,
tech,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And he
So
had to
it's
take a dump. Okay, he ran out that tunnel like he was dripping. It was something
It
down his
was
leg.
Yeah, it was strange. He definitely jetted for the locker rooms. I guess they thought they were going to take a timeout. I don't know why
I don't know.
the
We all seen
the
that kind of
coaches
run.
didn't.
We all know what happens. Those are emergency doo-doos. You got
Yeah,
to get to the
emergency
bathroom
run.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
hey, this
As
is the playoffs, all right? It's like, be a man. Do like Paul Pierce did in the finals. Shat your pants. It's like, take one for the team,
Hey, I mean, honestly, if you just shut
hey,
your pants, I'm not guarding you.
right?
yeah,
So that
you know
might
what?
help.
There were some pretty girls on the court side. Maybe he just didn't want to embarrass himself. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kim
right. I
Kardashian was
mean,
out there. There were some other celebrities out there.
yeah,
He didn't want to embarrass himself.
he booked it into that tunnel. I'm telling you, I've
Yeah.
seen that run before.
As far as the lineup, Gary Payton starting, I don't know. I think they're going to throw something different.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got to throw something different. I mean, they didn't.
he's going back to the bench, come off the bench. They'll probably
Yeah,
put
maybe
in. They'll probably put in Green again, but maybe not. I was thinking putting Lonnie back in. Do you think
maybe they
they
go with
go back
Dante
to Lonnie?
maybe they go with Dante DiVincenzo.
Mm,
Player out of Villanova, strong,
yeah.
tough, athletic, can hit some shots. Maybe they go with him, or maybe they throw a wild card in there and throw Jonathan Kuminga in there at some point.
Ooh, that's a
I
wild
mean,
card.
Moses Moody.
yeah, I mean, Kuminga, the Golden State fans love Kuminga. I expect him to see some kind of minutes at some point in the series. So you know, it's an elimination game. They got to throw something out there. The coaches got to be prepared for anything.
MVP, game ball. Who you guys got?
Oh, this is easy. It's
Easy.
Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker for sure.
Lonnie for
I
me.
mean, carried us in the fourth quarter, hit some big shots, got some big rebounds, played some great defense, chased down a loose ball to get the steal and jammed it at the other end. Outran Clay, so that athleticism paid off. And yeah, it was Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, 100% Lonnie Walker. Well deserved. I hope he gets the same minutes next game. Let's keep going what works, right? If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. So I hope the Lakers keep the minutes high and his usage stays high because let's ride that horse.
I think my sixth man will go to Lonnie Walker. My game ball MVP will probably still go to AD. I mean, 23 points, 15 rebounds, that big steal at the end to seal the game. without AD, it wouldn't have happened this game. But Lonnie Walker definitely will have my sixth man.
Yeah, I mean, AD was really good, especially at the end towards guarding Steph. I mean, people say that, or LeBron said that AD is the best defensive player in the league, and he showed it for that. And he showed it
Yeah,
there.
he
Um,
wasn't on any list though for all NBA defensive team. Big Al, did you see that?
I did see the list, and I disagree with the list. I definitely think AD definitely deserved to be on there, but it was a regular season award, and he did miss some time.
Yeah, and some may say AD took the season off, but
The
but I
season,
guess
huh?
this is AD's way of saying, postseason is what matters, and this is how I play at my full potential defensively. Because offensively, I think he can do more. And I think he knows that too. But defensively speaking, he is the best one right now in the league, in my opinion. There's no one better than him.
It's probably based on number of games he played. He played 56 games this season, so he missed 30-40% of the season, so that might factor into it as well. Another bigger snub I felt like was Giannis. Giannis probably should have been on there.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, the guy that was on there that surprised me was Dylan Brooks. I mean, Dylan Brooks shouldn't be on there. Those guys would have
I
definitely.
can't
I
believe
would
he's on that
rather
list.
have AD for 56 games than Dylan Brooks for 82. To be honest, so I disagree with the list, but I guess there's a minimum games required.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks on that list is it's unbelievable. I can't believe he made any list, except for the new roster in China or something. That's that's all I can see him right now. Again, AD, a quarter of this is AD defensively is better than Dylan Brooks the whole season. You know,
Yeah, under
and
no circumstance will Grizzlies bring one back player should not be on that list.
hey,
Yeah,
how was LeBron? Albert, Big Al, how was LeBron?
38 years old.
NBA.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still good. Are they still good in the West? I don't know.
You
Mm,
guys have any gripes for this game?
gripes, the 3-point attempts. I mean, I was gonna say it earlier when Mario was talking about it that we knew what his gripes were, but it was definitely the 3-point attempts. They took a lot of them in weird moments too, and like just I know there were a couple that were late clock situation, but yeah, I mean the 3-point attempts were the biggest gripe.
I'm glad you're finally seeing what I'm seeing, Big Al. These three-point attempts, what are they doing? They're not three. What's the stats? Let's look it up real fast. They are, let's see, they went 6 for 25. That's 24% three-point percentage right there. What are they doing? Stop.
LBJ leads, D'Lo leads, Dennis Schroeder.
Oh,
It's
every
trickle
time
down
LBJ
effect.
shoots a three, I yell, bench him right then and there. Teach him a lesson. Get him off the court. I can't stand. It's like, and I can tell when he wants to shoot the ball too. He does this little hesitation. Like, if I'm a defensive player, I know when LeBron's gonna shoot a three. I'm gonna get up in his face and do it
Mm-hmm.
because it's
He's
obvious.
gonna pause. Oh,
Yeah, he has to tell. The worst poker player ever if it was for basketball. I can't stand these unnecessary threes when they know they should be driving in, getting the better shot, making an extra pass. You know, the, I'm telling you, see, because these unnecessary threes, they turn into long runs for the Warriors,
yeah.
and that is my gripe. Obviously, you can tell it's my gripe. It grinds my gears, to be honest.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, it leads to them like not having their defense set, and then the matchups are all off, and then they just can you know have the Lakers running around defensively, all scrambling just to catch up, and then they find a way to get an open three or an open layup. So those 3-pointers, hopefully, uh, they get some rest between series if they move on and they can fix their 3-point shot or they just stop taking so many. The other gripe I
stop.
had actually was the fadeaways.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the fadeaways. When I saw LeBron, AD, a bunch of guys fading away with like little guy, much smaller guys on them. I don't understand the fadeaway. Just go up strong, straight up. It's not a foul if you go straight up. Go straight up, go strong, and shoot the ball. They're little. They're not going to block the shot.
exactly. LeBron's built like a bull, and
Hmm.
he's fading away. On Steph Curry, I think is one of the plays I
Hmm.
saw.
Yeah.
If you have a matchup on Steph Curry and you're LeBron, you better be dunking on him. I don't care. He's not stopping you. There's no
Hmm.
way this guy's stopping you. Posterize him. It's ridiculous. 82. I mean, again, he doesn't get low. He loses his leverage. I see why it's fading away, but when you're that big, that strong, because I know AD's strong as well. He's not strong as LeBron, but he is strong. Uh, they should be banging the boards, really posterizing them. Enough of this fadeaway. This fadeaways are like, for guards they're posting up. That's okay. I accept that. But when these guys are just fading away and they're way bigger than the defender, it's uh, it's crazy. To me, it's like, where's the fundamentals at? You know?
Yeah, so Big Al, you stole both of our gripes today. Mario's 3 point. So I mean, okay, with any NBA team, especially during the playoffs, right? You have to have your space in play, or else they're just going to pack the paint, right? So who's your green light 3 point shooter in the Lakers? Then Lonnie Walker.
Rui Hachimura. I mean, he's got the highest 3 point percentage, or one of the highest 3 point percentages in the playoffs right now. It's Rui. I don't know if it's Lonnie.
Reeves? Is it Reeves?
Reeves does hit shots when he's not like winded, I guess,
Yeah, but there's no one on
running
Lakers
around.
team you could say, yes, I want him shooting threes. There's no one on that team. It would have been Beasley, but he just
It
doesn't know
would
how
have
to
been
shoot.
Beasley if he.
He
Yeah, I
he
mean,
turned
I don't know
into
what's.
Markel Fultz. Can't shoot no more. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
It's some. Like I said before, I think it's his shot. He shoots it in practice at a slower pace, and then he's got to shoot at game speed. Otherwise, he's not.
Yeah.
Getting game shots at game speed. That's how you shoot them.
I mean, you should practice at game speed. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's mistiming. Baseball players, they swing at game speed, right? When they practice
Hmm.
swing, they swing
Yeah.
the same speed they would in a game. If
Yeah.
he's not doing that, I don't know. I thought maybe the Monstars took his powers or something like that. So,
Like I
Beasley
said,
should be that guy.
like I said before, the playoffs they separate the men from the boys, right? It's like whoever has that playoff experience, that championship mentality, those are ones who show up and show out, right? It's like all the ones
Yeah.
without that playoff experience, they shy away. It's like once you get into the playoffs, it's like that pressure's on, they start missing, then they gets in their head and they miss even more. But I bet you
Yep.
if you put Bees in next season without any pressure, he's gonna start hitting
Oh, he'll
those
light it
threes.
up. Oh, he'll light it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
doubt in my mind.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So second gripe that Big Al stole was mine, which I agree. First half that really pissed me off. So their biggest players is what Draymond, Clay at 6'6", Wiggins at 6'7". You have Anthony Davis and LBJ, right? Like, why are you fading away? Why are you not just going strong to the hole? Why are you not pounding the paint? But they didn't do that, and that was frustrating during the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating, but I at least saw them attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line. I can't be mad about that. They won the free throw battle 20-12. So at least they were being aggressive. They weren't getting all the calls all the time, but they were being aggressive there. But it is frustrating to see a smaller team not get punished inside, especially early in the game. We were getting beat in the paint. Um, Mainly because our coverages were off. But yeah, we were still getting beat in the paint, and we're a much bigger team.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're used to watching, the Lakers team. We watch Shaq, we watch even Pau Gasol would. if Pau Gasol, and like, mind you, he's more of a he does a little fade too, but
Yeah,
I
he's
feel
more
like he would,
finesse.
yeah, more finesse. But I feel like he would still be, attacking these little defenders and dunking on them, right? Andrew Bynum would have done the same thing. Like, these guys play like a true center slash power forward, and just work them in the paint and punish them. And these guys now, I don't know. It's all about the fade, all about looking cool where you score. You're right, Albert. They did attack the rim, so I can't be that mad. But I could still get mad at them fading away on a smaller defender, right?
Yeah,
If it's Looney, I get it, right? But it's just it's Steph. It's
mhm.
Clay.
So that meme that's been going viral around the internet right now is end of fourth. Green drives. He gets caught in the air, tries to pass to Wiggins, but then AD takes the ball, and Dennis turned around, big grin from ear to ear, like Dennis the Menace style. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean they read that play the whole way. I mean, you could see. I think there's clips out there of LeBron just directing everybody. They knew the hammer was coming, and the ball was going to go straight to Clay, and they read it. AD was there waiting for the pass, and I think Schroeder just couldn't believe that they actually threw that pass. That he actually threw that pass to him. So they read it. It was great on the Lakers, great on LeBron for pointing it out, and good execution. Didn't
Yeah, it's
understand the jump ball call though. I think that was
yeah.
crazy. I thought we had a timeout that they called, but
I don't know. I think the NBA called at that point.
yeah, I was
That
like,
was a weird call to do a jump
it
ball.
was a weird call. Yeah, it was such a quick call too.
Yeah, it's funny. Lakers were favored by 3, and they ended up winning the game by 3.
What are
I
you
don't know
saying?
how.
What are you
I don't know
saying?
how.
Huh?
I don't know. I mean, how does Steph throw it behind him out of bounds? I.
What are
That's
you
weird.
saying? Are you saying it's all rigged? That the whole
I'm
NBA is
just. I'm
rigged?
not
That there's a
saying it's
script
rigged.
and
I'm just
the
saying
script said
the script was leaked.
Curry, please throw the ball at the end of the game.
Do you think normally he would have done that?
Of course not.
Exactly. I don't think. I don't know.
But I
He's a
mean,
smart guy.
that doesn't really work in the favor of Vegas, though, right? If you want to cover the spread, even if Curry didn't throw the ball out of bounds and he scored that 3-pointer, then the game would have went overtime, and that wouldn't have necessarily not go into Vegas.
No, the won. So Lakers won by 3, so they
Right, right.
hit that mark. So if
Well, maybe
Vegas, you would
it
have
was.
to. This is you say it would be like I would have to if I would make money. I would have been like Warriors plus, right? And then that's how you win it. If I would bet Lakers, I would have lost that bet because it's exactly 3. I would have to
Most
be
likely, most of the
yeah,
world is betting Lakers on that game, so
yeah. Like I said, I
I
don't
don't
know how they
know.
get it
That's a
right
two.
so many times.
It's a the Warriors had to win it to get it to 2-2, and now they're in a hole. So,
So what you're saying is you think Warriors fan base compares to Lakers?
huh?
Huh?
Are you saying that the
The
Warriors
Warriors?
fan base compares to the Lakers?
No, no, no. I mean, we share a state, and then we share some
Yeah,
demographics. But
that's all we share the state. They're kind
yeah.
of getting a little annoying to be honest.
I mean, Steph is great. Steph is
Yeah, all
unbelievable.
love for
He's
Steph.
Yeah, Steph is an amazing player. I like Steph a lot.
Yeah,
But
triple double,
he's,
man.
I mean, yeah, he's scary. He's scary. Like every shot that goes up, you're like, he's gonna make it.
Is yeah,
He's gonna
like
make it. Yeah.
if I make more money sometime, usually like yeah, he'll make this.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Steph too. He's a really great shooter, probably the best shooter ever in the NBA. Like Clay
Not
as
probably.
well,
He
right?
is. He is the best
Yeah,
shooter
he
in the
is.
NBA
Yeah, he
ever.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be real. He is the best shooter ever.
Yeah.
Clay's right there too. I love Clay. I'm sure he would love to be in LA too, but it's all good. But Laker fans are the best still.
Yep.
So CBS released that article saying that if the Lakers do win this year, that both Westbrook and Pat will get a ring. There's a couple other articles out there, several other outlets that say, Lakers win this year, they'll give all 28 players a ring. So what do you guys think about that?
It's a nice gesture by the Lakers. I don't know how the players should feel about it. It's a nice gesture. I know they gave the 2020 ring to DeMarcus Cousins, who never played a single minute, was injured all year, and then they cut him before the playoffs started to
Yeah.
sign some other guys. I think J.R. Smith and some other guys.
How do you think he felt
So that
though?
was,
When
huh?
they gave it to him, was he appreciative? Did he feel like he
Yeah,
didn't
he said.
deserve it?
Yeah, he was. Well, he said he was appreciative, but I don't. I
What do
didn't
you
see
really
him
think he
say
thought?
anything negative.
Yeah, I
That
don't
he
think he said
didn't
anything
really
negative.
actually. I mean, that he actually didn't deserve it. I don't think he's going to wear it out proudly, but I think it was a nice gesture by the Lakers, and that's what he can, I think, take away. Like, hey, even though I didn't play, you guys still give me a ring. That's very nice of you. You know.
Yeah, I think it was a nice gesture, and maybe he did bring some value to the team. We know he was injured, um, maybe he had some locker room leadership. Maybe he was
Yep.
mentoring some younger guys.
Hmm.
We don't know that much behind the scenes when it comes to
Right.
player to player interactions, obviously. So again, I think Lakers are a world class organization. So they did that for DeMarcus, and obviously, I think they will give a ring to Patrick Beverly and Westbrook if they win the championship this year, because without them, we would never got the pieces we have now to win it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
like,
thank you.
as, yeah, aside from like those stuff, I mean, Westbrook and Pat Beverly, they have been mentoring Austin Reeves, and they've mentored some of the younger guys on the team. I'm sorry, his name is our first round pick, Max Christie. There we go. Um, yeah, I know they mentored him, so at least they were helping develop those guys. But it was turmoil at that time, so it is kind of hard to like say, oh, they were contributing 100% to this championship. But they mentored those guys a little bit, so they developed them a little bit, and that's part of the journey, and they were part of the journey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think from like a team aspect, definitely Lakers, like you said, world class. So we want to hook up our players and take care of our players. So as many rings as we can give out, that's the ideal goal. As like a superstar, I don't think I would necessarily agree. Like the Charles Barkley's out there or other several superstars that never got a ring in life. They're like, oh, what the, it's like I played my ass off and I haven't gotten a ring, but these chumps are like getting a ring. It's like what? I think as like a role player or a bench player, I probably want that ring because that's just your legacy, right? I mean, that's your only chance to ever get a ring in the NBA, and at the end of the day, it's all about how many rings you have on your finger. So
I see that. Like when you're a superstar, there's different expectations out of you. And so let's say a superstar gets hurt out most of the season, and that team still ends up winning, right? It gets carried by another superstar or whatever. Getting that ring, I guess I think as a player, I would take it, I would love it, but knowing I had very little contribution outside of just playing, having my team on the court, my contribution would be off the court, obviously, and I'd have to somehow come up with a good perspective, like, okay, it's good, like it's meant to be this way,
Yeah, and
But
Westbrook is also very different. I think
yeah,
he thinks differently, and I think for him, like accepting the ring, I think he would be accepting of the ring. He was part of the journey. He did mentor some guys. Um, he was there. He was in the practice facility every day. He probably started more games and played more games than LeBron and AD in the last 2 years, even after the trade. Uh, so I mean, Westbrook was a big part of the team. He did win us some games. And those games matter because of seeding. If we had lost more games, then maybe we don't make it in. So he was part of the team, and I think he is deserving of the ring. Maybe he didn't win it, but he did. He does deserve it in the sense of he was part of the team, and yeah, I think he deserves it. But as far as like, oh, how many rings you got? Like, how many did you win? It shouldn't count that way. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
on a side note, that Joker, he didn't get suspended. 25K uh, fine for elbowing Matt Ishbia on the sidelines. Ishbia maybe he did an all-time
Flop,
fall.
flopped.
Flop.
Flop.
He flopped. He did the Hollywood.
What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, I don't really have much thoughts about it. They're not going to throw the owner out of his own
Yeah,
building. He owns
they're
the
not doing
building.
anything like that.
Yeah.
It's something they
Whoever would
could
throw
do.
him out would get fired. Okay.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, Ishiba, I think, tweeted out that he thought that Joker is a professional and he didn't deserve to get suspended or a fine for anything. He was just being a competitive at that moment. So, I mean,
I agree.
whatever. I don't know if that was like him censoring himself because maybe the NBA wanted like, hey, slap on the wrist or whatever, just tweet this out. But I don't think it was much of it. Jokic was not really being super aggressive. He just wanted the ball. Ishiba flopped. We'll call it how it is. And,
It was a flop.
Yeah.
It really was. And honestly, that's what it was. And Joker, he's a competitor, right? And I think what Donor said in the tweet, was right thing to do. It was fine, and that's it. Surprised that series is 2-2, right? It's 2-2.
Yeah.
I thought Denver had this in the bag at like 4-1, to be honest. But it's interesting to see that series because I kind of want the Suns to win
So I
over
think
Denver.
being the third person perspective that we kind of came at it, who cares? It's Joker, it's the Nuggets, it's the Suns owner. But if you flipped it and it was like LBJ or AD that kind of did that, and elbowed somebody, then you'd be like, oh, heck no, we ain't getting suspended. They're not going to suspend LBJ or AD for something like that. That's BS, right? Or say, it was the second person where it was Jeannie Buss or Rob Pelinka that got elbowed, then we'll be like, oh yeah, that guy needs to fry, right? He needs to get suspended for several games.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. Like we do see some examples of like that where it was having a different player or a different person. Things might be different. If it was LBJ, they're not suspending LBJ. There's no way.
Or
I don't see that happening.
say like, okay, our next game in Chase, right? It goes
Yeah.
down to the wire, fourth quarter, ball goes out of bounds. Then some Warrior fans grab it and doesn't want to give it to us for that fast break, which would allow us to score. Then we would be pretty ticked off, right?
Yeah. No,
I
yeah.
mean, that's on the fans. If they shouldn't be
Exactly.
the refs should have that, get that ball themselves though. They're the ones that are supposed to grab the ball and trigger the inbound for the players. So I mean,
Yeah.
they gotta get that settled, and I'm sure it will get settled that you can't hold the ball like that if you're the fans.
No, yeah, you absolutely cannot. And the fans should know that. If they don't, then now they do. You can't go on the ball like that and disrupt the game.
Looking forward to that Chase Center game. You guys watch Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, I
No,
am
not yet.
not
Busy
want to.
Okay, I
weekend.
shouldn't spoil it
Yeah,
for you guys then, right?
Heard it's
yeah,
sad.
no.
It's pretty good.
I
I
haven't heard
saw it.
much.
Probably one of the better Marvel movies, because the previous 2, 3, they all pretty sucked. Strange, Thor, and there was another one, but they pretty much all blew chunks and didn't do much for the storyline. But I mean, this one didn't do much for the storyline, but it's pretty good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely want to see it.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I know there's some stuff with Rocket, so definitely want to check it out. But Chris Pratt was at the game, so
Yeah,
he's
he
definitely
was.
there promoting the movie. Promoting the movie. Yep.
All right, Lakers fans. So you heard it here first. We will see you next game, and thank you guys again for coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you guys want to leave your Twitter handle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
can
you
definitely
guys
follow
can
me on
follow
Twitter.
me. You go
Mr.
ahead first.
President 22.
Yeah, and I'm big _Al GZ on Twitter.
And ours would be at Lakeshow with an S, Lakeshow's NBA. And we will see you guys next game.